So today we're going to talk about tightening our funnel. And the first thing I want you guys to write down is fast, the word fast. And if some of you guys are driving, remember this one, but fast, F-A-S-T, F-A-S-T. Now, why fast? The reason why I want you guys to zone in and recognize fast is because fast is a speed that is determined by the practitioner or the driver. I want you guys to recognize that. We throw this term around all the time of, hey, I'm going to build this fast, or I'm going to get that done fast. Well, what is your definition of fast? How fast is that speed to you? Or what is the rate of that speed to you? Recognize that simple ideology of fast. And make sure that when you write that down, you circle it. You recognize that you're the one that gauges that speed. So when we're talking about tightening the funnel, some of you, if you're brand new, perfect timing, because you're going to launch, kick off your funnel and keep modifying it to make it more effective. If you've been in the business for 3 to 5 years or longer, then it's something that you've likely, if you're continuing to grow, you've every quarter maybe gone in and made some revisions. And if you're not growing or you're stagnant, then this is the time to start tightening the funnel. So just start off recognizing fast. Now, when we come into launching our leads, our prospecting pool, and generating business, I want to refer to Law 41, which is staying active, attractive, and effective as a leader. I want to remind all of us that we're CEOs and we drive our business. We control the rate. We control how fast our business grows. And one of the dynamics of controlling that effectively and consistently is staying active, attractive, and effective as a leader. And the way we do that is one, physically active. Energy is a leader's secret weapon. Now, for many of us, it takes efforts to create energy. Some of us, we're lucky we get it naturally. We have just the right science and biology that's just shooting off all these axons in our brains, and we have to get it out. We call it ADHD, ADD, whatever terminology that we want to credit it for its success. Then there's a large portion of us that energy, where does it come from? We have to find it. More importantly, we have to create it. We have to create it. And the reason why I use the terminology create it is because the only way to predict your future is to create it. So it's synonymous that the only way to predict your future is to create it, unless you leave it up to other people, which we call life by default. Whereas what's the other option? Anyone want to either chime in through the chat, or you can verbally unmic? What's the other option? If you're not living life by default, then you're living life by, Bobby Vegas, you still on here? By design. So Nazar texted that in there. I see it. The spell check completely design. So if you're not living life by design, then you're living life by default. And that's why it's important that we recognize fast and that we control that. We also see the synonymous correlation between creating our future through predicting it and creating our energy. The next is you have to continue learning, stay mentally sharp. Always be a student of the game. Even once you're master level, you're crushing your goals, you're getting the results that you desire, stay studious to the game, because I want you guys to recognize, and I'm sure all of you will agree, but if not, this will be a wake up to you. 3 to 4 years ago, when I would speak and share kind of strategy on where trends are and where business was going, I would refer to how things are not the same as 5 to maybe 7 years prior. This is 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I would say, team, nothing is the same as 5 to 7 years ago. Today, I want to share with you, nothing is the same as 3 to 5 years ago. Why is that important? The reason that's important is because this timeline of things changing and us needing to adapt is becoming a lot shorter. It's becoming a lot shorter at a massive pace to where one more strategies of our business has to include the trends and the ability to pivot, adapt, and change a lot quicker than we did just 3 to 5 years ago. Do you guys agree with that? With any head nods? Do you guys understand what I'm talking about? How it impacts you? Yes, only a couple of you. Well, let me give you some examples. For those of you that think it's the same, let me give you some examples. 10 years ago, Zillow wasn't buying houses. Zillow was giving estimates on what your home is worth. 7 years ago, I think maybe they were giving you offers and then gathering those offers and sending them to potential buyers, and it would become leads. Then 5 years ago, they started, actually 6 years, 6.5 years ago, they started giving offers. They started buying them up. Then when Zillow started doing it, Redfin, others started doing it. Now we have institutional buyers. And then now there's potential executive order to be put in place to where companies like BlackRock, et cetera, or institutional buyers can't buy all these blocks of homes. These are some of the immediate changes that I'm bringing to your attention that we have to recognize that are going to keep moving. And those have an impact on us. Regardless of where we are in the pipeline of real estate business, they will impact us. The third of staying attractive, active, attractive, and effective as a leader, the third is to take care of yourself. Take care of yourself because a leader's greatest asset is their mind and their body. And I know that we hear this all the time, but recognize that the steps of our business success, for me, it's 3 steps. And the priorities are prioritized in these 3 steps. Now, with those of us that are connected to where faith is number 1, I'm not going to say exclude that, but that's for you. So everyone's not going to say my faith, but those that your faith is number 1, keep that number 1. But outside of faith, the first is your mindset. Your priority has to be your mindset. Our business success is 80% mindset. The equation is 80% mindset. Then the other 20%, 10% is tonality, the way we deliver our message. And the other 10% of that 20 is the knowledge base we have. This means that if you're not super knowledgeable in this industry, but you have the right mindset, you will still beat those with the wrong mindset that know everything. That's a fact. So priority number 1 for me is my mind. When your mind is right, the second is your physical self, your body. You're making the right mental decisions to take care of your physical body. And then the third is those 2 will credit your business. What most of us do is we focus so much more on the business as number 1. In the process, we lose our mind and we lose our health, our physical health. And some of you are nodding, and those people recognize what I mean by that. Mentally, you start maybe having disagreements with the right people for the wrong reasons. Maybe you start treating yourself wrong with the wrong habits, the wrong addictions, the wrong vices, smoking, drinking, whatever it might be, too much TV, YouTube, not enough physical exercise. And then the third is that trickles into your business because you make all this money, but then you recognize, wow, what's all this money for if physically, mentally, I'm not where I need to be? So just recognize that, because once you do that, we're going to recognize on how to make this funnel way more effective. So tightening the funnel, let's dive in. Any questions so far? Was any of that relevant to what we're talking about or not yet? Some of you? No? Okay. Well, we'll see. I think you guys might be logging on waiting to hear that magic sentence. That's when I need to make $1 million. And you might pick up fragments of that, but I'm going to give you the full puzzle that you get to put together. When it comes to narrowing or tightening your funnel, the first thing you need to recognize, and write this on paper, is am I going to go buyer-based or seller-based, or am I still going to go general where any lead is a lead? All 3 of those are an option. But what you have to be very concrete in the strategy of what your option is. Because when you're going buyer and seller, meaning I'll take any lead, your messaging, your strategy will be a lot more vague. You're also in a larger pool of folks because that's where most people play. And then when you're going more buyer strategy or more seller strategy, you've reduced already your pool of competitors, because the general processes of our business is where there's less people focused as a buyer or seller's agent than there are people who just take on any lead. You guys feel what I'm saying? You with me on that? Great. Thank you for your participation with the head nods. That's really going to help. So I appreciate that. So first thing is on paper is, are we a buyer or seller agent? Our messaging. Recognize that. Then once you recognize that, now I'm going to share with you where the funnel is of where you should be focusing your energy on getting leads. Because we start off with the business and letting everyone we know what it is we do. That should never stop. That is an always on thing. So in our business, when do we turn our business on and off? My answer to you is you never turn your business off if you're in real estate and you're the CEO of your business. Never. Why? Because even at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, when you can pick something up that's going to put money in your pocket at 6 in the morning, why would you not do that as a business owner? when that money in your pocket's going to help you do more things personally and less business in the future, right? Give everything you got to for 3 to 5 years to be able to do everything you want to for the rest of your life. That's literally how our business works. So now that we've identified we want to be a buyer or seller's agent, where are we getting our leads? I'm going to give you some areas that I would focus on getting your leads. And these are some hacks or strategies that's going to bring you to a lower percentage of people that are in this space. So those of you that are on this call, just chime in the city of where you're from if you're not driving. If you can text in, put in the city. I'd love to see where you guys are at. And the rest of the pool will identify, hey, how many people on this call is going to go do this in my area? And the further we are from one another, there we go. We got North Carolina, Murphy, beautiful area. There was fires out there not too long ago. Riverside, Destin, Florida. Look, all the spread. A couple Destins, I saw that. So you guys might be going after the same nuggets in this one, but everyone else is pretty spread out. So when it comes to high seller leads, we're going to focus on probate inherited homes. Probate is super underutilized, team. It's undermined, it's underutilized. The reason why I share this with you is because my background, I have a CSA degree, certified senior advisor. I specialize in working with folks that are 65 plus and help them age in place. And having this knowledge, I want you to know there is a significant wave, over $30 trillion wave of asset transfer that started probably 5 to 7 years ago and will continue for the next 12 to 15 years, maybe longer. This is a big pool until when? The millennials fall into that play. So I want you guys to know there is like a 35 to 40 year gap until this opportunity delivers again after 12 to 15 years. So don't undermine and take it for granted. Probate sales is a big deal. Let me share with you how much of a big deal it is. Just yourselves on this call, ask yourself, do I have a trust? If the answer is no, your home is likely going to go through probate if you don't have a trust or have transferred the title through a TOD, transfer of deed. Most people do not have a trust, especially if they're under 50 and they bought a home. They don't recognize planning that early enough, and they also don't think they're going to pass and die. But I come from financial services. I come from life insurance. I understand the risk of loss. I'm going to ask you guys a quick question real quick because we have time. I just want you guys to ask yourselves, what are the odds, and you guys can type in if you want, what are the odds of somebody dying under the age of 65? Anyone know? You can type it in. No wrong answers. We're going to leave that blank. You can say it out to yourselves where you guys are. 33%. Potentially, those are high odds. Now, what are the odds of someone dying over the age of 65? Over the age of 65. Okay, 60%. Now I'm going to give you guys a wild answer because I'm in financial services. The odds of people dying over the age of 65 is 100%. That's what's crazy. That means that everyone who hits 65 and older, the odds of them dying is 100%, team. When I learned that, I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Was that a trick question? Yes, it was a trick question because we're on that space. But when we recognize the odds are 100%, now we say, wow, people don't have a trust. Their home is going to go through probate. Go find the probate sales. How are you going to do that? I'm going to tell you. Most city halls, city community districts, public sectors, they will share with you resources for probate agents and probate attorneys when you come across trying to claim your assets in probate. So you want to connect wherever you are based in your city. You want to connect with that liaison who is the individual who provides the probate resources when people reach out to them and say, what do you do when people reach out to you guys and need help, or say, hey, my so-and-so family's home is in probate. How do I gain access to the inheritance? There is usually 3 to 10 agents on a resource list within these cities and areas that are allowed to provide a resource list because some will find them biased. However, that alone is 3 to 10, 15 leads a year that you might not have been acquiring so far. That we just started, by the way. This is if you're focused on sellers. Divorce transitions, we know this. Divorce, you're going to get that from your title reps. Expired listings. if you're complacent and you're all good, you don't need more money, ignore the expired listings. I'm being sincere. Why? Because let those that are hungry and want to make more money go after expireds. Don't just feed the pool and make it harder for them, but go after expireds if you want to make more money, unless you're super comfortable. Expireds are the lowest hanging fruit for someone who wants to make immediate money. Like if I'm an agent, I'm struggling in the business. I haven't had a sale for 3 months, 6 weeks. I don't have a hot lead. I don't have a pipeline. I'm going after expireds hard. Why? Because most of the time, new agents are working expireds. And I'm going to tell you how to win. I don't want to say every expired, but majority of expireds. But before I waste your time on talking about expireds, let me get an idea or a census from the group. Is it worth your time or value for me to share with you how to get expireds with a higher degree of success? Okay, I got one row. I need about 5 yeses for it to be worth time, because I see about 15 folks here, so I don't want to kill your time. 2 more, maybe. All right, I'm going to go to the next one. If we get 2 more, okay, so I'll come back to it if we get it. We're going to skip expireds. The next thing is relocation. Relocation, okay, I got 4. Is there one more? Maybe? All right, here we go. Nazar broke the ice. Guys, let me tell you how to get expireds. I know, right? It's like, here's the way to do it. Everyone, yeah, we know we call them. There's a few details you have to do. One, you got to be the first to call. So you don't call expireds a day or 2 after they're expired, and you don't call expireds in the evening of expiry. You call expireds the morning they expire. When? From 8 to maybe 9:15. If you're savage, you call them at 7:45. Now, for those of you that are saying this is way too early to call anybody to sell their home that didn't sell, you're correct. However, I'm not worried about it being too early for them. I want to win the expired. So what is my strategy? I'm the first to call them, and because when you're the 5th or 10th to call, you're screwed. Those people get the worst. But when you're the first to call, you set the tone for how the rest are about to receive that call. And that's why you win. So what do? You call people with a high sense of urgency, like you're in a frantic chaos and running around yourself, because it's the morning of their expiry. And it's going to sound like this. Who wants to role play and be that person who's really tough and doesn't want to give me the listing? Anybody? All right. Then I'm going to talk to myself, because we've been here before. Just unmute. Let's go.
I will.
Nino, thank you. Nino, am I saying that right?
Yes.
All right, Nino, thank you. So, Nino, I'm calling you. Your home expired, and this is the morning of expiry, okay?
Sure.
All right, Nino. So you just got to give me a hello.
Hello.
Hi, Nino. Good morning to you. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Who's this?
Phenomenal. Nino, thanks for asking. My name is Sina Azari. I'm giving you a call from Catalyst. I'm giving you a call about your beautiful home at 566 Jensen Drive.
Okay.
I cannot believe that home did not sell. Is that true?
Yeah, it's been on the market for about 5 months.
Nino, I'm glad I caught you this morning. I'm hoping you're on your way out. What I'd like to do is be the first to share with you that today's going to be a really tough day for you. Do you know that?
Why is that?
When I hang up with you, your phone is going to be bombarded with agents that are salivating to come and sell your home. And they're going to call you for the next 8 to 12 hours, because they don't know that you've already been contacted by me. So they're going to keep calling you. I want to be the first to let you know this. Okay.
Well, what are they going to offer me? They call me.
Well, you fell on a list that all agents get resources to. That's called an expired list. And I specialize in helping homes that haven't sold. That's why I'm the first to call you today. My name is Sina with Catalyst. This is what I'd like to do, Nino. I'm assuming you're on your way out. I'm going to be in your area today, roughly around 5 to 5:30. I'd love to stop by and share with you exactly how I can help you sell this home a lot quicker, and most likely at the same dollar you were asking for earlier, if not more. Is 5 or 5:30 going to work for you today?
Well, no, my question would be what makes you different than Peter? Peter had my listing here on field screen for about 5 months.
Nino, thank you for asking me. I can share with you on the phone in a couple minutes, but I'd love to show you in person, because when I hang up, everyone's going to call you and try to tell you why they're better than me. Why don't I do this? If you're home today at 5 o'clock, let me do some work, have my team put together some analysis of exactly what your home should go for and how soon we should be able to sell it. Let me bring it to you in person. And after I hang up today, I'm going to send you a video text of who I am and how I can provide this value. Is 5 o'clock going to work for you today?
I want to not commit at a time. I'd rather you email me the information so I can review it.
All right, let's do this. I'm going to email you the information, but I'm going to be in your area tonight anyway. So I'm just going to leave the information at your front door. So at least if you're home, you won't see put a face to the name. I won't be a stranger. If you're not home, I'll leave it there, and I'll still send you this video when we get off the call. Fair enough?
That's fair.
Okay, great. So before I let you go, though, I want to share with you. You know, you will get bombarded with all these agents who will call and essentially maybe try similar strategy. The difference is that I'm gonna show you today at 5 o'clock, 5:30, why you should go with Catalyst. Fair enough?
Yeah, but a question would be is that you and all these agents are going to be calling me. Where were you guys the last 5 months?
Well, here's the deal. Because we're realtors, we sign a code of ethics to where we can't solicit folks who are already working with another realtor. So thank you for asking that question. I also ask you to challenge other agents that question and see the answer they gave you, because many of them will start making up reasons why they didn't call you. But Nino, have a great day. I just want to be the first to let you know, be ready for the calls that are coming. And I look forward to seeing you tonight. I'm going to shoot you a text video right when we get off the phone.
All right.
All right. Have a good one. Boom.
Right,
now we're done. Team, what's important is I prepped him to let everyone else know that they're done. I also kept planting that I'm going to be there, whether he wants to see me or not. Why? Because if he doesn't want to see me, it's worth for me going there. If it's not more than 30, 40 minutes from my house, it's worth, or my office, it's worth me going there, give him the information, get on his Ring camera, knock on the door, get a little uncomfortable. Maybe he opens it, puts a face to the name. Maybe a neighbor sees me and I can explain to them exactly why I'm there, but I'm going to go after 4 or 5 leads from that call. The expired that I go visit, and then I have a rule where if I go see someone at a house, I see the neighbor to the right, left, and across the street as an introduction of who I am serving that main house. And I generate those leads from every home I go to. And I use that home as my anchor of why I'm introducing myself. And my line is very simple. Hey, knock on the door. Hi, how you doing? I already have their name. Why? From title. So I know who lives there. Mr. Smith? Yeah, how can I help you? Mr. Smith, my name is Sina. I just want to make sure that you can put a face to the name. I'm going to be working across the street with your neighbor for the next few months. I didn't want to be a stranger. Have a great day. What do you think Mr. Smith says? What do you do? Who are you? Why are you here? Or maybe he sees my car and I got some logos on there. Whatever it might be, but that's how we're going to work expireds. And then you go take a CMA, take something really fancy, build a relationship, talk about how maybe it was mispriced, mismarketed, whatever your reason is. Any questions on expired, team? All right, was that, oh, by the way, when you finish that call, what solidifies the expired is you making a video text. And some of you might use BombBomb. What I recommend is take your phone out, shoot a video. If you haven't done this, make a couple practice ones. They're most effective when you're in the office. If you have an office like Team Provident, I see a beautiful office background. They're most effective when you can shoot in the office. And I would show my office. And what I do is, here's the video. The video says, hey, how's it going, Nino? This is Sina. I wanted to put a face to the name. Thank you for your time this morning. I look forward to seeing you tonight at 5 o'clock. And our team is going to make sure that we get your house sold quicker or at the right dollar. Boom. And then usually the team will yell, woo, something like that, because we're all making these videos. These are all intentional strategies we do because we want to beat our competition. Who's my competition? All of you on this call. I want to beat you. And you guys are probably better than me. You probably have more experience than me. You're probably making more money than me. But Nino doesn't know that. And I want to beat you. So how many of you guys do that on an expired? Any of you send video text after you make a call? You make an appointment, any of you? And it's okay if you do, but I'm happy if you don't, because it just goes to show you 1 out of 40 of us is doing it. So do what 1 out of 40 does, not what 39 out of 40 do, because then they're getting the same thing.
If I could chime in for a second, I think that what would be really, really exciting for every single person that's on this call is to log on to your local MLS, look at the last 30 days, or even from January 1st to now, how many people have their house expired in the last 45 days. And then imagine just for a moment, what would happen even if you just have 5% of those list with you? How many more listings would you represent if you had that? And if you really don't believe that you would be a better agent for the job of selling their house, then don't call them. Don't waste their time. But if you believe wholeheartedly that you can do a better job of selling a home than the previous agent did, then I want you to call them, go to their house with the same conviction that you have, that you would do a better job. And if you believe that, then be relentless. Don't take excuses. Oh, well, whatever. Like, go to their home. Be absolutely fanatical that you are going to get their home sold. And if you go there with that intensity, you go there with that level of like surety that, hey, I know why your home didn't sell. I can get your home sold, because guess what? If you've never been in a position where you've tried to sell your house and have it sold, I'm telling you, it sucks. It absolutely sucks, because they had plans. They had plans to move out of state. They had plans to downsize or move up or move down, or whatever the reason is. And the only thing that was stopping them from moving or moving on the house. So it's super stressful. And if you can go there and you can give them that peace that, listen, I am going to get your home sold. I am not going to lie to you and fluff this up. I'm going to tell you what it's going to really take to get the home sold. And if that is that you need to do a price adjustment, I'm going to help you and be the person that's going to be honest enough to give you that information to tell you what it's really going to take to get the home sold. And so you can make your move. Now, unless your plans have changed, I'm going to get your home sold. Let's work together.
Amen. I love it. I love that, Nazar. Thank you. You guys, I got a few more things to give you, then I got to jump off. So thank you. Can I jump back in, Nazar? All right. So team, for the buyers, where are you getting buyer leads? For the buyers, there's two areas that I would focus on. One is everyone who's paying $3,500 or more in rent. Anyone who's, I mean, some of your areas, $3,500 might not be a lot, but for most areas across the country, $3,500 or more for rent is worth discussing on, hey, maybe we should look into getting a smaller home that you're earning equity, having write-offs on, if that $3,500 gets them less home. We're kind of approaching an era now to where almost the rents are higher than, or just as much as how much some mortgages are. So you should be able to do like a lateral shift if you can show them on paper what it looks like. I would also, for the buyers, I would also be focused on everyone with equity. I know we generally go after 5 to 7 year runs, but in the last 4 years, people have made 35% or more in equity across the country. Everybody. Talk about how they should tap into equity, especially with the vulnerability and sensitivity of the markets today. I mean, if you guys are investors, today's a pretty brutal day, but for the last few days, it's been very volatile, very, I don't want to say unforgiving, but as it has been consistently for some time. So people are jolted. They're willing to look at some alternative options. Their attention right now is at the red. So I would start talking about equity. And if they miss the last bull run of having their home at values to sell, then they understand that risk again, and it's going to take time. So help those people tap out. Replace CMAs with pain-driven offers. I know I use CMA in the expired example, but what I would do is start to have, if you guys are using social media, or I would do a lot of this is text messaging, social media, or video, but I would send out one-liners, and I'll give you a few. One of them is find out what your home would sell for in 14 days versus 90 days. You ever thought about that? You ever thought about what your home would sell for in 2 weeks versus 90 days? With a question mark. I mean, the average pool of prospects is like, what does that even mean? But they want to know, what? Huh? That's what you want. What's a lead? Remember, team, a lead is nothing more than a name with a number or email address with an excuse to start a conversation. We want to create leads. Another one-liner. How much equity can you access without selling? Quick question. Send that in a text to everybody. Quick question. How much equity can you access without selling? Why? Because that question raises curiosity. Ooh, is there an investment opportunity? Do you know something I don't know? Is there an IPO you want to tell me about? Insider trading, let's all go to prison. I don't know. But how much equity can you access without selling? Nazar's like, Sina, these are recorded. It's a joke. All right, the last one. Off-market buyer demand report for your zip code. Send out to Nextdoor and everyone, hey, team, dear neighbors, I have a massive interest of buyers, and we don't have enough homes in our local area. I know 5 miles away we do, but they want to buy closer. Who do you know that's interested? What I'm trying to do is help you guys stay in motion, create activity. Because if you're constantly running and your mind is occupied and you're looking for more leads and creating business, you won't have time to sit there and have like paralysis analysis and like, why isn't this happening? Or what do I do here? Or you're constantly moving, pushing the needle. Team, I apologize. I got to jump. I'm a few minutes late for my next meeting. Nazar and the team, thank you so much for the opportunity. Have an amazing February. I look forward to connecting with you guys soon. Be safe, all.
Thanks, Sina.
I'm going to jump off, Nazar. Emily, take over. Thank you.
Yeah, you're good. You're Hey guys, I hope the last that he heard, I hope that you guys just be like, oh yeah, it's cool, and then do nothing about it. Like, make a commitment today. Make a commitment to say, you know what, I can do this. And if you're gonna start it and do half-ass it, then don't even begin. But come from a place of contribution. Come from a place where these people desperately need your help. If you're talking about expireds, or if they're renting right now, where they're like, oh, I'm gonna wait for rates to come down. Like, I'd love the line of, hey, listen, you think 6.5% is expensive? You're paying 100%. Every dollar that you give in rent goes towards interest. You're not buying any principal. Like, help them acknowledge that. Help them break the cycle of being a perpetual renter, especially if they're paying 35. Again, he said $3,500. Look at your marketplace. Look at what an average loan payment would be or mortgage payment would be, and then look for rentals that are roughly around that range. And, like, I mean, obviously, in LA County, that could be like $5,000 or $6,000 a month in rent that they're paying, whatever it is. At the end of the day, I know that every single person that's on this call has a desire to be someone that could help others. And so take the advantage, and instead of calling them and saying, well, gosh, I don't want to call at 7:45 in the morning, or I don't want to call at 7 in the morning. When I was doing expired calls, you guys, people were calling like at 6:30 in the morning. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. I would say get like to their door. I'd say go knock on their door at 8 o'clock in the morning. Pick 4 or 5 and go knock on their door. You're going to have a higher conversion rate if you're actually knocking on their door than you would be if you were calling them on the phone, right? But be intentional, be like a fanatic about doing that, and I bet you that you'll be able to add more to your bottom line this year than you would have otherwise done, and you can help people while you're doing it. So anyway, all right, appreciate you guys. Thanks for being on here. Raul, it was a pleasure meeting you or seeing you this morning again, man. Looking forward to continue to connect with you.
Absolutely.
You guys have an amazing day, and we'll talk next week.